Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is the story about what if Naruto had a karma seal. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So without any further ado, let's start the what if. As Team 7 continued on their way to the exam room, they were stopped by the voice of a certain bowl-cut green spangly genin. Rock Lee wanted to fight Sasuke. As he challenged him, Naruto got even more frustrated. You heard of the Uchiha clan, yet you are challenging me? You must be psycho. Then you look. If that's possible, you want to learn more about my clan, then I'll teach you, Sasuke said with a scowl at the end as he activated his Sharingan. Rock Lee smirked internally. It worked. Now he's going to show his techniques, and then I'll use them against him. The bowl-cut genin thought. Sasuke, this might not be a good idea. We only have half an hour left until. Sakura was interrupted as Naruto yelled, hold it. I go first, this weirdo is mine. Naruto said as he activated his chakra chains as he wrapped them around himself like armor. Naruto got this idea because of the Susanoo. The chains wrapped around Naruto's arm and legs, and slowly around his chest. Naruto, don't go and show off your techniques, especially this. Sakura warned Naruto. Don't worry, I'll have this guy begging for mercy in 2 minutes. Sasuke just said, go for it, with a smirk. Naruto should be able to beat this guy, right? He beat that ice guy back in the waves, so this guy should be a piece of cake to Naruto, thought Sasuke as he watched Naruto prepare himself. I don't want to fight you, I want to fight the Uchiha. Well, guess what? Sasuke can't compare to me in the slightest, believe it. Naruto yelled as closed in on Rock Lee, who just stood there in his strong fist stance. Naruto went for the punch, but Rock Lee disappeared and reappeared behind Naruto and went for the kick to the back of Naruto's head. Before his foot landed on Naruto's skull, chakra chain-like armor appeared and covered the backside of his head. Rock Lee was slightly impressed, but his quick thinking gave him an idea. If he moved fast enough, the chains wouldn't be able to protect him from his attacks. Soon enough, Rock Lee upped his speed and Naruto was having a harder time controlling his chakra chains. At some point, Naruto lost sight of Lee when out of nowhere Lee's foot appeared in front of his face. Naruto chakra chains covered his face, but it masked it like a helmet, Tone's helmet to be exact. But it didn't do much but launch Naruto back to where Sakura and Sasuke. Why is everyone 2 times stronger now? First Haku and Zabuza, now Lee. Of God, what am I gonna do about Neji? Knowing him, he might be just as strong as when we were teenagers. Damn, that means everyone is 2 times stronger. I guess Isshiki really wants to strengthen his vessel to the max. God damn it, once I meet Pervy Sage, he better train me really hard so people might not think I just randomly got stronger. Thought Naruto as he slouched on the wall. He could feel blood running down his nose. The chakra chains slowly removed themselves until they were completely gone with only a shocked Naruto. Sasuke just activated his Sharingan again as he dashed at Rock Lee. The same thing happened as last time. Sasuke was able to copy Lee's technique without anyone knowing. Suddenly a turtle appeared with a puff of smoke with an adult version of Rock Lee. The same thing happened as last time. Guy punched Lee in the face, they hugged it out with youth. And left before apologizing. Maya, how about that? Seems like the Uchihas aren't as great as people say they are, Naruto said before being told to shut up by Sakura and Sasuke insulting Naruto. Next time I'll drive him to his knees. Sasuke swore to himself only for Naruto to comment again, yeah right, look who got his butt kicked. Sasuke glared at Naruto as Naruto continued talking, you saw his hands, didn't you? When he took off the tape, I bet old bushy brows has been training until he drops, day in day out. He trains harder than you, that's all I'm saying. Well, we should hurry before we can't get into the exams, Naruto said as he stood back up with his nose not bleeding anymore. Team 7 was finally at room 301. I'm glad you came, Sakura, for your sake and the others. Now you can all formally register for the Chunin exam. This confused the 3 genin as Sakura asked what he meant. Well, you see, only groups of 3 can apply for and take the Chunin exams, that's the way it's always been. After more questions from Sakura, Kakashi said his last few words, "Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke. I'm proud of you, I couldn't ask for a better team. Good luck and make me proud." Naruto was crying tears of joy as he nodded to his Kaka-sensei. "I'll make you proud, Kakashi-sensei. I'll become Chunin before you know it. Heck, I'll become Hokage before you know it." Kakashi patted Naruto on the head as he smiled at them. "Me too, Naruto. Now go on guys, don't want to be late, right?" They all nodded as they entered the room. Suddenly Sakura got really nervous when she saw how many were in the room, and from multiple different villages. Naruto looked around and spotted Kabuto, but didn't bother and looked around. "Man, I really didn't think there would have been so many here," Sakura muttered. Then another blonde appeared. "Oh Sasuke, where have you been? Boy, you have no idea how much I hoped you'd show up here. I've missed the brooding good looks of yours." And immediately they started fighting when Shikamaru appeared with Choji. "Oh, it's you guys. I knew this was going to be a drag, but I didn't know it was gonna be this lame." "Oh, so all three students are here," Naruto said, making fun of the three and calling them students instead of ninjas, which for a second angered Shikamaru, but he calmed down rather quickly with "What a drag, you're a waste of time. Shikamaru Nara, always complaining and never does anything about it. Laziest student of the academy ever. Choji Akamichi, Akamunchi more like it. I bet he would eat his own head if he could. Ino Yamanaka, now she's annoying, not just because she got the same stupid thing about Sasuke. Well, what do you know, seems like the whole gang is back together again," said Kiba with Shino Aburame and Hinata Hyuga. "Hinata Hyuga, she's okay, but I don't know why she is so shy and embarrassed whenever I look at her, it's kinda weird. Kiba Inuzuka and his dog Akamaru, forget what I said about Ino, this guy is the most annoying of them all. Shino Aburame, he's just weird and a mysterious person. Man, you guys too. What a drag, Shikamaru dragged. Yup, here we all are, the 9 rookies, this is gonna be fun. Well, for those good enough to make the cut, isn't that right Sasuke?" Kiba bragged. "Don't get so overconfident, Kiba," Sasuke said with a smirk. Kiba just smirked and kept on bragging about how hard they trained and that they'll blow us all away. Hinata tried to stop them from fighting, but it didn't work. Akamaru's looking plumper, juicier, thought Choji. Hey you guys, you should quiet down a bit, I mean no offense, you're the 9 rookies. Fresh out of the academy, Kabuto said as he walked up to them, cool it, this is not a class school trip. Ino then yelled at him asking who he is. Well, I'm Kabuto Yakushi, look around you. You've made quite the impression, as the rookie 9 look around and saw all the glares their way. Naruto tensed slightly. See those guys? They are from the Rain Village, very touchy, they all are. This exam makes everyone tense, and you don't want to rub them the wrong way as well. You guys remind me of myself a while back, so I'll give you some info, with my ninja info cards. These cards have been chakra encoded with everything I've learned over those 4 years. They appear blank if I don't put chakra in them, Kabuto said as he proceeded to show off the number of candidates from villages, and which ones. Why do you guys think they come here to take this exam at the same time? As he looked at them, it's the foster friendship of nations, international brotherhood as far it goes. Kabuto continued, but there's another reason. He nodded at Sasuke and talked about how they can regulate the amount of ninja and things. And the balance between villages when Naruto decided to ask a question, out of his curiosity of course. Well, what about the villages that have more shinobi than others? How is that balance like that? Kabuto was intrigued with the question and nodded, that's a good question. Have you guys heard or know what a bijou is? Most of them nodded, but some didn't know while Naruto paled a little and stiffened uncomfortably. Kabuto noticed it, but didn't say anything. Yeah, they are the 9 titanic living forms of chakra, each one stronger than the next, Sakura answered as Kabuto nodded and continued talking about them. Yes, you are correct Sakura, but back to your question Naruto. Each village holds a tailed beast, ranging from 1 to 9 tails of chakra. For example, the Cloud Village has the 2-tailed beast and the 8-tailed beast, while the Sand Village has the 1-tailed beast Shikaku. We only know its name because, well, it screamed its name once. The village hidden in the mist have the three-tailed beast and the six-tailed beast. The village hidden in the rocks have or had the four-tailed beast and the five-tailed beast. The village hidden in the waterfall has the seven-tailed beast. And last, but not least, the nine-tailed fox demon, or otherwise known as the Kyubi, is in the Konoha. Answered Kabuto. As all the genin were impressed, but also slightly shaken. The Kyubi was in Konoha, but where? It's a massive being filled with hate. Kiba, being the smart idiot he is, asked, "Oh, if Konoha really has the Kyubi, then where is it? Because I don't wake up every morning and see a giant fox outside the village sleeping. So where is it?" Kabuto nodded and moved his glasses a bit higher as a reflection of them appeared. "Well, Kiba, the Kyubi is here and the other bijou as well in their respective villages, except one. They are sealed within something to keep themselves from destroying everything, or shall I say, someone." This basically freaked out everyone. Someone in Konoha had the Kyubi sealed in them and they didn't even know. Shikamaru, being the genius he is, already figured it down to some people, but his main suspect was Naruto Uzumaki. "Well, who are the tailed beasts sealed within?" "Every village, and from this one now," demanded Sasuke, almost as if he wanted to possess the power of these beasts. Kabuto nodded and started naming them, from the Sand Village. The Sand siblings suddenly tensed. Was Kabuto really going to tell them? "Well, I actually don't know, it's classified information." "Well, let's go on. The Two Tails is sealed within a kunoichi called Yujito ni Jonin, and there are rumors she might join the Anbu in the Cloud Village, depends on their Raikage really. The Three Tails is in the Hidden Mist, within their Kage Yagura. The Four Tails is currently with Rashi, whose current location is unknown. The Five Tails is with Han, the partner of Rashi, also current location unknown. The Six Tails Yudakata is also unknown. The Seven Tails is currently in the Waterfall Village contained inside Kunoichi Fu. The Eight Tails is currently residing inside Killer Bee, the Raikage's brother. Rumors are he is friends with his bijou, who knows?" Kabuto said as the rookies listened. Kakashi was listening from outside, suddenly tensed. Kabuto was going to tell them Naruto has the nine-tailed fox inside him. Naruto also knew what gonna happen and then looked at Kabuto. There was no emotion of Naruto's face, but if you looked at his eyes, it was pleading for Kabuto not to say anything. Kabuto took notice, obviously, as he is a ninja spy. Sasuke then got frustrated and took card from Kabuto, but saw the person that contained the Kyubi was unknown. "Unknown? What does it mean, unknown?" Sasuke yelled as the others saw the card said, "Jinchuriki of the Kyubi is unknown." Kabuto shrugged. "It's the same as the Sand Village, it's classified even for you Uchiha." Sasuke grumbled as Naruto started to shake. Sakura took notice, and started to feel bad because she was scared already, but seeing Naruto scared was even more scary. Only to notice his fists were clenched as he looked up and pointed to the opposing shinobi. "Hiya! My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm gonna beat very one of ya. Believe it?" Naruto yelled as Kakashi chuckled on the other side. "Yeah! I feel a lot better." Soon enough the exams started. Ibiki had entered and had everyone shut up. He had already finished with the rules like last time. Don't feel like typing out everything he says as it's like 7 pages long. Naruto sat as the tests were given. Obviously he was Hokage before, so he knows all the answers, but it's be really suspicious for an idiot like him to know everything. He also noticed Hinata sat next to him as well, just like last time. Ibiki started the timer as people started their tests. In just 5 minutes the Chunins started writing down on their clipboards, writing down names and calling genins to leave. Naruto just stared at his paper as he noticed Hinata was working but had her Byakugan activated, meaning she already understood the real meaning and was copying off a Chunin's test. Naruto looked behind him and saw Sasuke using his Sharingan to copy off another Chunin. Sakura was just using her massive brain. Naruto turned back to his paper and drew down an image of himself as Hokage. As a kid, of course. After a while, the 10th question was out, and when Ibiki told them about the rules of this question, Temari stood up and shouted at the man saying, "So the 9 questions were pointless this whole time?" "No, You are still going to be graded on this test with those questions. Temari sat down and crossed her arms over her chest with a frown. Soon enough multiple teams left with only half the teams left from the start. Hinata asked Naruto if he wanted to copy down her answer, but he politely declined for her. Sakura in her mind was just begging for Naruto to raise his hand up and give up. Then sad flute music started to play. At some point she thought he wasn't going to raise his hand, so she raised her hand a bit up when Naruto shakily raised hand up but then slammed it down on the table. Don't underestimate me. I don't quit and I don't run. You can act tough all you want, but you guys aren't going to scare me off. No way. I don't care if I get stuck as a genin for the rest of my life. I'll still become Hokage someday. Naruto yelled as he sat down with his hands crossed, as he wasn't going to move or quit. Man, he is stubborn. You know your decision could change your life, if for any reason you'd quit. Now's your last chance, Ibiki said as he stood still at the front. Temari silently giggled at the blondie. No way, I never go back in my word. That's the way of the ninja. Naruto said as he inspired basically everyone. Soon enough Enko came and Ibiki congratulated them all for passing. As the rest of the teams followed Enko to ground 44. As Ibiki collected the tests he picked up Naruto's, as he slightly gripped the other tests a bit harder before he chuckled to himself. I let someone pass without answering a single test. Only thing here is a drawing as him as Hokage with Lord Third in the background sighing to himself, hey he's a funny kid. Too bad Minato or Kushina isn't here. They would have laughed like hell to this, but Kushina would also beat him, probably. Ibiki thought to himself as he continued on. Enko explained to them that they have 5 days to get to the tower in ground 44, also known as the Forest of Death. And they also needed to get 2 scrolls, Heaven and Earth scrolls. She also needed them to sign a paper in case someone died and it wouldn't be their fault. She noticed everyone looked slightly worried or nervous, but Naruto was just looking at the first ahead of them. She threw a kunai at him so fast that his chakra chain didn't even react fast enough as it grazed him on the cheek. She appeared behind Naruto with a shunshin, as she held another kunai by his neck. Are you not scared, blondie? Because if you aren't I'll make sure you get terrified in this test. Then the secretly Orochimaru grass ninja gave Enko her kunai back with his long-ass tongue. Team 7 went to get their scroll as they went under a curtain as they received their scroll, which was the Earth Scroll. As the gates opened they started running forward. Team 10 was going to go after Team 7 as they were the weakest team because of Naruto. The grass ninja were also running towards the direction of Team 7. Team 8 were scouting out and searching for teams. Team Guy were already far into the forest and were just resting on trees and relaxing, saving their energy for later battles. When Team 7 got to a certain place Naruto went to piss, and then a fake Naruto came as he fought Sasuke. Sasuke had kicked the fake in the ribs and then threw multiple shurikens at him making him bleed, as he soon retreated immediately. Naruto came back again. They made a password, but when this happens a massive amount of wind rushed through breaking trees and destroying the area. Sasuke was behind a bush when Sakura came and she said the answer. After Orochi Naruto came but Sasuke knew it was a fake as they fought again. The grass ninja asked why give a long password if their teammate was as dim-witted as ever. Sakura wondered where Naruto was. Naruto laid upside down a tree as a massive snake appeared. Oh no. Not you again. I'm gonna turn you into a pair of shoes, you massive snake. Naruto yelled as he used his chakra chains to wrap it around the snake, but Naruto struggled to keep it place. Naruto, why act like an idiot and not just go all out and act like an adult? I'm losing brain cells having to deal with this, Kurama asked as Naruto looked at him in the mindscape. Because it'll look super suspicious if the dead last of the class just became a Hokage level ninja in a single night, Kurama. Plus I want to enjoy being a kid again. Kurama yawned as he fell asleep, but not before giving some chakra to Naruto. Naruto grinned as the chakra entered his system. It was enough only for someone nearby to sense the Kyuubi chakra flowing through Naruto's veins. The blonde let go of the chains as he rapidly punched the snake until it puffed into smoke. Naruto then dashed back towards his teammates who were fighting Orochimaru. By the time Naruto got there, his little power-up had ended. When Naruto got there, Sasuke had stabbed himself to get out of his paralysis by Orochimaru. "Don't worry guys, I'm here. Oh, and by the way, what was that password again?" Naruto asked as the three below looked up to see a roughed-up Naruto. Orochimaru could sense the little tingles of the Kyuubi chakra around Naruto, but it was barely noticeable. Orochimaru, without going through hand signs, shot a massive ball of flame at Naruto, who stood there still smiling. Naruto had quickly drawn a seal on his hand with some ink he had taken from his pocket dimension. The seal was Fire Sealing Method, Fire Seal. Naruto put his hand up as the seal glowed blue before starting to seal in the flame inside his palm. Naruto started to sweat as the amount of fire he sealed was a lot by a 2 times more powerful Orochimaru jutsu. The seal went from black to dark red. The three were surprised when they saw Naruto untouched from the attack. Orochimaru was getting more intrigued, Sasuke's Sharingan and Naruto's sealing abilities, as well as the Kyuubi chakra and his chakra chains. Naruto crouched down as he put a half-ram hand seal and focused his chakra and Shunshin in front of Orochimaru. He then brought up the hand that had all the fire seal and said, "Release," as a massive ball of heat came out of his palm and into Orochimaru as it launched him into a tree. His face burnt in half, but the other two didn't notice. Naruto then swatted his hand in the air as the ink melted off his hand. Naruto noticed his karma seal was starting to get exposed, so he tightened the tape around it. Orochimaru then sent a massive snake at Sasuke, which he was riding. Sasuke stood there frozen in fear when Naruto caught the front of the snake with his back. "What's wrong, scaredy cat?" Naruto said as he looked lit up with his red slitted eyes. Sasuke just stared at his eyes in shock. Naruto forgot about Orochimaru as his tongue grabbed Naruto. "Let me down. Let me down, you creepy weirdo snake." Naruto yelled, trying to pry off the tongue, but it was twice as strong as last time too. Orochimaru's fingers lit up in purple flames and yelled, "Five-pronged seal," as he smashed his fingers on Naruto's seal. Naruto slowly lost consciousness, but not before bitch-slapping Orochimaru in the face. After bitch-slapping Orochimaru, the following things happened. 1. They lost. 2. Orochimaru bit on Sasuke's neck and a seal appeared. 3. He got away. 4. Naruto woke up earlier than usual but decided that he deserved a nice nap after all he did. 5. The sound trio appeared and Sakura had set up multiple traps which failed in the end. 6. Ino, Shikamaru and Choji appeared protecting Sakura. Zaku then called Choji fat when Choji wanted to run away, but now they had mad Choji. 7. What a drag. 8. Naruto had to wake up. "Can you guys shut up, I'm trying to sleep here," Naruto yelled as he opened his eyes. The sound trio looked roughed up, Lee was unconscious, Sakura looked like she was about to collapse and Inoshikacho were fighting the sound trio. But they all stopped in their tracks and looked at Naruto, who yawned. Sakura was furious that he was asleep but also glad he was awake. "Naruto, after this I'm gonna beat the life out of you. But right now we have to deal with these guys. Could you help us? Please?" Sakura yelled and asked. Naruto nodded as he stood up and tried to use his chakra chain, but nothing happened. Naruto stood straight, had his arms out, clenching his fist, he thrust his whole body forward as if trying to activate something. He could hear the sound trio snickering, "Shut up, I'm trying to concentrate right now." Naruto yelled at them. He finally gave up and yelled, "Screw you, Orochimaru." Naruto cursed as he looked up and yelled, "I don't need my chains just to beat you. I'll destroy you." Naruto dashed at them but was knocked back by Zaku's sound wave that came from his hands. Naruto stood up, his headband had loosened and fell over his left eye. The eye that held his Rinnegan that he hadn't used since being taken back to the past. The eye morphed into a purple ringed eye. Naruto could feel something tugging at the back of his mind for some reason. It was probably Kurama working on removing the seal with his chakra, yeah, most likely. Zaku put more chakra into his arms and a massive sound wave came rushing forward to them, which would most likely kill them all. Choji was trying to muster up enough chakra to become big enough to block out the attack but was having trouble. All of them except Naruto was accepting that this might be their final battle ever when Sasuke stood up, purple sinister chakra around him with black flame like markings starting cover his body. "Naruto, this is my battle and my battle only," Sasuke said as he activated his Sharingan as he went through multiple hand signs very quickly. Fire Style, Fire Dragon Jutsu. As a massive fire dragon erupted from his mouth. Naruto glared at him, he hated having someone save him. Naruto knew his fire dragon wouldn't completely stop the sound wave jutsu. Naruto jumped back, grabbed Sasuke and forced chakra into Choji as he expanded into his giant form. 7 meters tall, before Choji expanded, Naruto used Almighty Push with some wind chakra. A massive explosion occurred as Choji protected them. Sasuke glared at Naruto but nodded, but barely, just for understanding them. As everyone opened their eyes and Choji shrunk back to normal size, there was only a massive crater left behind. The sound trio reduced to atoms. Naruto faltered a bit and fell on an oak tree as Sakura and Ino used what was left inside their emergency medics. Naruto didn't flinch in pain as they put alcohol on his wounds and cleaned them. Shikamaru sat down next to Choji, who started eating his potato chips to regain his chakra. Sasuke just stared at the crater as his curse mark receded. Naruto Rinnegan I returned to normal but with an odd feeling. Lee woke up and his teammates Niji and Tenten as they left fast as well. Team 7 and Team 10 decided to stick together as they rode on top of a giant Choji as they were all tired and Choji agreed to take them. Sakura, Ino sat on Choji's left shoulder and Naruto and Shikamaru took a nap on top of his head while Sasuke was on the right shoulder. Choji could feel his expansion jutsu starting to wear off because his chakra started to run low. "Hey guys. Can someone lend me some chakra or my bag of chips? I can feel my jutsu wearing off," Choji said as he started to slow down. The ones that were awake were too low on chakra to spare some to him, so they tried to find him food. They gave it to him, but it only lasted 3 minutes. Naruto woke up and realized the situation and simply said, "Don't worry guys, I got this. I've always had a ton of chakra, never really ran out." His hand got covered in chakra, he touched Choji on the forehead as Munchi started to walk again and faster. Shikamaru, who woken up as well, then decided that Naruto was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Never being low on chakra. Only someone with a bijou inside them most their life would have this much chakra, and to just give it out freely without any strain. Naruto's got to be the Jinchuriki, ugh. What a drag, all this thinking got me tired, thought Shikamaru as he watched the clouds, before falling asleep. Finally, after a couple hours of traveling, they all reached the middle of the forest where they entered the building. They took their separate ways. They opened their scrolls next to each other as Iruka appeared. "Hey Team 7, congratulations on finishing the second exam. There is still a couple hours left until this exam ends, so try and get some rest," Iruka said as he gave them a thumbs up and poofed away with a shunshin. Sasuke had his hand over his seal as it was irritating him. Sasuke panicked internally, the seal was slowly consuming his chakra to make the seal stronger. Sasuke held up a half-ram seal and shunshin away. Naruto walked away while helping Sakura. He dropped her off at a room in the building and said bye. Naruto was walking on the road back to his apartment. He had a bag of ramen cups and milk bottles. Naruto entered the building, walked up 3 stories up, took out his key and opened the door. His wood clones doing all the work for him. Naruto gave his sons the bottles of milk and fed them, they then fell asleep. Naruto made himself ramen, finished it and threw it away. Naruto left his apartment and locked the room when he noticed the apartment next to him, Sasuke's door was slightly open. Naruto opened it slightly to see a busted 13-year-old asleep on the couch. Naruto silently entered and looked around, He found seals on a table which he was pretty sure made him look like a guy before it wore off. Naruto crouched down in front of the sleeping beauty. She was wearing a shirt that was way too small for her massive bust. Her ass was just as big, no wonder she used gym pants or just dresses to cover it up. Too bad it didn't work on someone like Naruto. The blonde laid down next to her, but should have known better as she instinctively pulled him into her bust while asleep no less. Naruto just sighed in content. Hand on her bottom, her breasts in his face. Life couldn't be better, and he fell asleep. Satsuki Uchiha slowly woke up, but she kept her eyes closed, when she felt something moving in her breasts and something gripping her bottom softly. She looked down slowly to find a tuft blonde hair. Slowly realizing it was Naruto, her feelings now were fighting against her. Her crush on the blonde boy and the Avenger part of her. Maybe, just maybe, she could have both. She started caressing his hair softly. She kissed him on the forehead as she picked him up using chakra in her arms to hold him up as he started to gain muscle so he could last in battle longer. He didn't have any abs per se, but who knows, the future is a thing. She placed Naruto slowly on his balcony couch and left. Hours passed and everyone was now back in the room where the preliminaries were starting. It was Sasuke Uchiha versus Yoroi Ukdado or whatever his fucking name was. Yoroi thought he was absorbing Sasuke chakra but was actually in a genjutsu. Sasuke dashed at the Genin genjutsu as he used Lion's Barrage on him. Rock Lee gripped the handlebars. That's my move, Lee thought as Sasuke won his match. Naruto theme music started to play in the background somehow. Gaara was also starting to make his psycho noises as Kankuro stood next to him sweating. The next battle was Shino versus Zaku. The battle was interesting, or well kinda. Shino filled Zaku's arms with bugs until they blew up and Shino won. Next was Kankuro versus Tsuruguri. Puppet versus a rubber man, Kankuro won as the rubber guy was fighting a fucking puppet. Next was Sakura versus Ino. It was just fucking disappointing. And it was a tie. Temari versus Tenten. Temari's wind jutsus just stopped all of Tenten's kunai weapon scroll attacks. Pretty useless. So Temari won easily. Shikamaru's theme song then started to play out of nowhere. Now it was Shikamaru versus Zin. Shikamaru was complaining about fighting a girl. Zin used her senbons against Shikamaru, but he found out what he was about to do with the bells that she had. After an annoying battle Shikamaru had against her, he used his shadow possession jutsu on her and made her quit the game. While the battle had happened, Ino was just screaming, "Beat that bitch." Niji was watching everyone's movements and smirked. It was now Naruto versus Kiba. Yeah! It's here, it's here. The moment I've finally been waiting for. Naruto yelled as Kiba smirked. He was gonna fight dead last and win easily. Rock Lee said he was gonna die of old age having to wait. Good luck, Naruto. Do your best. Sakura cheered on Naruto. Lee is just like Guy when he was a kid. Thought Kakashi as Guy gave him his good guy thumbs up. It's your moment now, show us Naruto, show us how much you've grown. And maybe if you win, I'll teach you a jutsu, only if he wins, thought Kakashi as he patted Naruto on the shoulder. Naruto's theme music started to play as everyone looked around confused, until they found out it was a sound genjutsu Naruto created just for his battles. Naruto jumped into the arena as Kiba landed. Naruto was now thinking, should he defeat Kiba with a fart again or with more skill? More skill, Naruto decided, but had a mischievous smile inside. Alright, Kiba. I'll give you 5 seconds to forfeit unless you want me to beat you. Naruto yelled. Sorry, dead last. Me and Akamaru are going to beat. Come on, Naruto. You can't lose to this jerk. Sakura yelled. Kurenai was mentally apologizing to Kakashi. Naruto was no match for Kiba. I feel sorry for you, Squirt, so I'm gonna beat you myself. Kiba yelled, making Naruto remember everyone laugh at him as a kid when he failed a transformation jutsu, trying to become the third Hokage in class. Naruto started to shake in anger. He hated everyone that laughed at him. Ninja art, beast mimicry, all fours jutsu. Kiba yelled as chakra formed around him as he dashed at Naruto with high speed, elbowing him in the stomach. Naruto got launched at the wall. The little guy's gonna be out for a while, just end the match, Kiba said to the proctor. Kurenai told Kakashi that she was right. Kiba started to walk away when he felt a massive amount of chakra starting to release from Naruto. Every genin got surprised by the amount chakra being released. But the Jonins, Chunins, and the Hokage started to worry about if the Nine-Tails chakra was starting to release. Naruto stood up and yelled, "Don't ever underestimate me. Because you can't beat me that easily, you bastard." That punch felt like an old lady's. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. As the arena got filled with clones. "This the end for you, Kiba." The Narutos yelled. Everyone in the room just had shocked faces by the amount of shadow clones. Kiba and Akamaru were in the middle of hundreds of Narutos. Kiba pulled out a red pill and fed it to Akamaru. "It doesn't matter how many clones you makes. 2 against hundreds is still 0. Fong over Fong." Kiba yelled as Akamaru transformed into Kiba as they started to spin wildly in the air, destroying the clones. The real Naruto was shocked out of his mind. The seal Orochimaru placed on him was forcing him to spend 10x more chakra just for a couple hundred clones, but now they are getting destroyed. Soon enough the clones were destroyed. Naruto flinched slightly. Kiba was more animalistic than last time. Of course Naruto also had to act as well. Kiba then started to laugh at Naruto, bringing back the memories. Soon enough Kiba yelled at Naruto, telling him how could such a weakling become Hokage. "On your feet, Naruto. Get up." Sakura yelled as Naruto stood up and put up a half-ram seal, and disappeared with a shunshin. Kiba was looking around everywhere when felt his ninja pouch get ripped off his shorts. Naruto held up the pouch and said, "Seems you favor these pills a lot. How about I use them against you, huh? Let's see how fun it is for you." Kakashi was about to yell to Naruto not to eat them but was too late. Naruto never ate a food pill or any kind of soldier pill, so he didn't know what his was going to do. Naruto swallowed 2 of the pills and immediately his eyes had changed color. They turned red as his pupils became slits. His whisker marks becoming thicker, his nails sharpening. "Let's go, Kiba. Winner will become Hokage." Naruto could feel Kurama's chakra slowly going to his chakra system because of the pills. Naruto disappeared from Kiba's sight and appeared behind him with his powered-up speed. Kiba looked shocked for a second before quickly using another Fong over Fong with Akamaru, but Naruto caught both of their wrists as he started to spin in circles wildly. They became a blur because of the speed, looking like a miniature tornado. Naruto then threw them at the wall but then landed on the ground. Naruto then made 5 shadow clones, but quickly after the pills he swallowed ended as Kurama's chakra destroyed the effects, changing him back to normal. "Time to use my super secret move." Naruto then out his hands in the ram hand sign. Kiba then used his speed and appeared behind Naruto but slightly tripped as his head went slightly lower near the ground right behind Naruto when Kiba recoiled back. His nose was dying. The genins were disgusted. Only someone like Naruto could beat Kiba using his methods, thought Kakashi as Naruto then used his new technique. Uzumaki Barrage. Kiba laid on the ground unconscious as Naruto won the match. Sakura yelled at Naruto for his disgusting move against Kiba. Then it was Neji versus Hinata. Hinata put up a good fight against Neji, but Neji still won. Naruto had encouraged her to keep fighting, but Neji used Gentle Fist and blocked out her chakra points. But this time Neji didn't hit her in the chest. Gaara vs. Lee was next. Rock Lee lost in the end, his leg crushed and his body strained from using 5 of the 8 gates. Gaara was stopped from killing Lee, which angered him and made him more psychotic. The next battle was Choji vs. Dosu. Choji, even if he tried his best, he lost against Dosu's sound waves. The preliminaries had finally ended. The fights for the finals were Naruto vs Neji. Temari vs Shikamaru. Sasuke, Kangara. Before Kakashi left to go train Sasuke, he gave Naruto the scroll on how to learn the lightning blade. Naruto hugged Kakashi like there was no tomorrow and telling him he won't regret it. Then Ebisu arrived to train Naruto. Naruto ran with shadow clones. Ebisu caught him, tried teaching Naruto how to water walk on the hot waters near the hot springs. Then he fought an old man because he was peeking into the woman's hot springs. The old man stomped on him with a toad as Naruto asked who he was. Jiraiya introduced himself. "I'm glad you asked. I am the hermit of Mount Myaboku. The wise and immortal spirit." "That's right. It is I, the toad, mountain sage." "Well, listen, you pervy sage. He was supposed to train me and you flattened him out like a pancake. Well, he shouldn't have intervened with my research. I'm a novelist, a writer of great books. Like this one, inch as he held out Make Out Paradise copy that hadn't even been released yet. My pervy sensei reads those. You're just doing this to peek at woman." Naruto yelled as the woman inside the bathhouse screamed and ran away. Jiraiya then started yelling at Naruto for scaring them away and how he needed his research. "Who cares about your research? What am I gonna do about my training?" Naruto yelled at Jiraiya. The toad sage then looked at Naruto. "The water walking technique?" Jiraiya asked as Naruto nodded. "Since you completely knocked out my teacher, you have to teach me it." Jiraiya immediately said no and left with a shunshin. Naruto immediately found him drinking sake. After an hour of annoying Jiraiya, he finally decided to train Naruto. "Alright Squirt, follow me," Jiraiya said as they jumped on top of buildings, and soon enough they were jumping on top of buildings and arrived at a river. Jiraiya had Naruto channel chakra and then he stared at the stomach area of Naruto's body when the seal appeared. After a couple more seconds a 5-pronged seal appeared. No wonder he can barely control his chakra. This is Orochimaru's doing. His sealing skills are still not as good as mine as far as I can see, thought Jiraiya as his fingers glowed blue chakra. "Put your hands up, it's a trust exercise." Naruto nodded as he raised his hands up with his eyes still closed. 5-prong seal release. Jiraiya said he thrusted his fingers into the seal on Naruto's stomach. "What the hell, pervy sage? Don't worry about just pushing a pressure point to loosen you up." Naruto walked on the water and was bleed to without falling as he cheered. "Woohoo! I think it's time to teach him how to use the fox's chakra," thought Jiraiya. "Hey kid! I'm going to teach you a killer technique." Naruto ran over to him immediately. Jiraiya then went on about his second chakra. Naruto nodded and told him about the one time he used it against someone that controlled ice. Later they were in the hot springs and relaxing. Naruto was trying really hard not to cry. He was with pervy sage Aegon. Naruto fell asleep in a motel Jiraiya booked for them. Jiraiya was apologizing to Ebisu for stealing his student, but Ebisu didn't mind. Naruto and Jiraiya were back at the river. He was peeking at women some more as Naruto sat next to him, sometimes peeking but was also focused on the scroll Kakashi gave him. Naruto went through the hand signs slowly, and when he forced chakra into his palm, he only got a flicker of lightning before he accidentally hurt himself when one of the sparks hit. "Ow, ow, ow," Naruto muttered as he waved his around, getting rid of the pain. Jiraiya, who noticed, thought it looked very wrong. "Alright kid, let's start," Naruto just muttered finally. "Alright Naruto, try to use the red chakra we talked about yesterday, alright?" Jiraiya asked Naruto. He nodded. He put his hands in a ram sign and started to summon Kurama's chakra. Slowly red chakra started to form around Naruto. His face didn't any changes, meaning he was controlling it, thought Jiraiya. "Alright Naruto, that's enough," the sage said as Naruto stopped channeling more chakra. He still had red chakra around him like an aura. "So now what, pervy sage? Don't call me that. Now the next thing we're gonna do is this," Jiraiya said as he went through hand signs and then slammed his hand down. "Ninja art, summoning jutsu." as a pretty big toad appeared at Jiraiya sat on its back. The toad then gave Naruto a big red and green scroll. Jiraiya then explained to him that it was a summoning contract. Naruto but his thumb, wrote his name down, put his fingerprint on it, and then Jiraiya gave him the hand signs. Summoning Jutsu. When Naruto copied the jutsu hand signs for the summoning jutsu as smoke appeared and summoned Gamakichi. Jiraiya nodded internally, not too bad for his first summon, thought Jiraiya. What's up? My name is Gamakichi. Hi. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto and Gamakichi started to get into random conversations. Jiraiya then coughed into his shoulder purposely. Let's get back to training now. Naruto nodded his head and told Gamakichi he could leave. Gamakichi left with a bye. Alright brat, try to summon a bigger toad. Naruto nodded and went through the hand signs again and tried to summon a bigger toad and had accidentally summoned the chief toad Gamabunta. Jiraiya had a surprised face as he watched the giant toad from afar on top of a tree. Who the hell decided to summon me? Jiraiya! Where are you? Gamabunta yelled, looking around for Jiraiya only to find a blonde with whiskers and an orange jumpsuit sitting on his nose. Hey, Chief Toad. I summoned you, so now that means we are going to have to work together. Naruto yelled so Gamabunta could hear him. Blonde hair, roundish face, blue eyes, and whisker marks. Minato's kid, huh? Well, I could never say no since it was Namikaze's kid, thought Gamabunta, but had a mischievous inner smile. Sure, I'll let you be my henchman under one condition. Gamabunta said mischievously. This is a lot different from my first interaction with Gamabunta, thought Naruto as he nodded. Sure, what are the conditions? He's gonna blow his mind, hee. Share a drink with me and I'll allow it, hee. Gamabunta chuckled mischievously, thinking Naruto was about to make excuses for being underage, but his answer slightly shocked him but had little respect for him. Sure, as long as you are supplying. Gamabunta chuckled, give me 30 minutes and I'll have it. Gamabunta reversed summoned himself back to Mount Mayaboku. I heard Gamabunta was bringing drinks, Jiraiya chuckled as leaned next to a tree. Naruto grinned, I summoned the chief toad on just my second try. That had to be some sort of record, believe it. It had been some time after the trio had been drinking. Jiraiya had fallen asleep with a sexy jutsu clone of Naruto. Naruto owed it to Jiraiya that much, for he taught Naruto everything he knew. Gamabunta went back to Mount Mayaboku. Naruto was really bored. 3 weeks passed really fast and tomorrow was the Chunin exam finals. Naruto went through the hand signs and summoned Gamakichi. Hey Gamakichi, I know you hold cigarettes in your back pocket, could you pass me some? Naruto whispered to Kichi, who nodded and pulled out a pack and a lighter and gave it to Naruto. The blonde opened the pack and took one out. Kichi held out his lighter and flipped it on as he put the small flame on Naruto's cancer stick. Naruto took a puff and exhaled. He felt the stress he had slipping away. Naruto realized it was already evening and then something struck inside him. The hospital. Gaara would be trying to kill Lee right now with Shikamaru trying to stop him. Naruto took out a scroll that read, Hey Jiraiya-sensei, I had an emergency and had to go. Also, don't worry about the clone I left with you, it's kinda like my own jutsu. It doesn't dispel easily like normal clones, so just protect me. That sound really weird. Protect the sexy jutsu clone and she will be with you forever and kinda be like an assistant. Naruto laid the scroll in between the breasts on his clone and left with Kichi going back to Mth Mayaboku. Naruto took out his cigarette and stomped it out before throwing it away in a trash can. He was lucky Kurama's chakra would heal his lungs if it ever got that bad, and it also got rid of the smell. Kinda it was there, but you'd have to be pretty close to Naruto to even smell it. Naruto opened the door to Rock Lee's room and had his chakra chains grab onto Gaara's body, stopping his sand as his chakra chains absorbed Bija chakra, or at least it stopped the wielder's ability to use them temporarily. Gaara then proceeded to tell them his backstory, his demon, and how his father treated him. Soon after that, Might Guy appeared and stopped them, saying they could fight tomorrow. Gaara left holding his head like it was splitting in half. After that, Naruto and Shikamaru decided to go eat food in front of Choji. While that happened, Shikamaru was now 100% sure Naruto was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. He remembered Naruto telling Gaara that he had the real demon inside him, but then Gaara told him he also had one. Shikamaru thought this was troublesome when he saw a small rectangular box in Naruto's ninja pouch. He also noticed the lighter. So Naruto smokes those cancer sticks like a Soma as well. What a drag, I bet they aren't that bad if even Naruto was smoking them, thought Shikamaru. Naruto woke up early with a yawn, grabbed his ninja pouch and his orange jumpsuit. Naruto looked in the mirror before tying his headband around his forehead. Naruto ran straight out of the apartment complex. Naruto jumped from rooftop to rooftop as he made it to the Chunin exams finals. Naruto stood in a line of his opponents, which were Shikamaru next to him, Kankuro, Temari, Gaara, Shino, Niji and finally Sasuke. Never mind, she wasn't even here. Probably still training with Kakashi. Old Man Third then gave a speech that Naruto completely ignored, including the proctor explaining the rules, which there weren't any. Will Naruto Uzumaki and Niji Hyuga stay while you guys go wait up there? Naruto and Niji were the only ones left in the massive arena. Naruto, who had chakra enhancing his hearing, could hear how multiple people whispering and saying they felt bad that Naruto was up against the Hyuga. Especially Niji Hyuga. He could hear Sakura trying to tell Ino he wasn't bad and that he could win. He could also hear Jiraiya chuckling. He had bet that Naruto would win against Niji. And since no one bet on Naruto winning, he would gain a lot of money on the ones betting on Niji. Alright, Hajime. The proctor yelled as he jumped back onto the railings of the arena. You should just forfeit right here and there, you won't be able to defeat me. It's my destiny to win after all, Niji chuckled as he activated his Byakugan. Naruto stood there thinking, damn it, Niji is gonna be harder to beat this time, since apparently everyone has gotten twice as stronger because of Isshiki meddling with time. And having to fight Niji in my pre-training trip body? Man, this is gonna be difficult, thought Naruto. The blonde genin jumped backwards closer to the arena walls. Naruto went through some hand signs before clapping his hands together. Wind style, wind bullets. Naruto thought as he shot out bullets of wind at Niji. Niji just stood there with his Byakugan as he used his gentle fist style to stop the wind bullets. Naruto then thought if he used a bit too many smart strategic ways to use his jutsus, people are going to get suspicious. Naruto put his hand in the ram sign and activated his chakra chains as he dashed at Niji. He could hear Kiba yelling out, not going for a taijutsu battle with him. Naruto sent his chains at Niji, but he just did the same thing he did with the wind bullets and broke the chains using gentle fist. He grabbed the chains and with his strength pulled Naruto all the way to him. Naruto put his hands in the cross sign and yelled, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Multiple clones appeared as they dashed at Niji. He let go of the chains, but forced his chakra into them, using it as a way to block a chakra point. Naruto's left arm then hanged loosely. Niji then started slapping away the clones' attacks as he destroyed them quickly. Trying to become Hokage, huh? A person like you could never achieve such thing. Niji mocked Naruto. Naruto decided to try something out and used the hand signs ox, hare, monkey as he held out his hand force chakra. Soon enough bits of lightning high voltage started to form around Naruto's hand. Then his hand was covered in lightning that made shrieking noises, but since it was incomplete it started to tear at Naruto's skin, causing some bleeding around his hand. Lightning blade! Naruto yelled as he dashed at Niji. The crowd were all surprised, but Guy just watched with a frown. Kakashi, you really taught Naruto the lightning blade? That's not very smart of you, thought Guy. Niji thought about just slapping his lightning-covered hand away, but knew that would damage him as well. Niji then started to rotate really fast with his chakra covering around him like a dome. Naruto held his hand out and punched it at the dome, but it didn't pierce through. Sparks from the jutsu were flying around everywhere and Naruto got struck by some of them. A dust cloud was then formed from the rotation and the lightning blade. Naruto made a clone and replaced it with himself. Niji stopped the rotation and grabbed clone Naruto's arm and struck his two fingers where clone Naruto's heart was. This clone had a bit more chakra than the others, so it spit out blood. Naruto, who hid in the tree, heard some Chunin saying, "Well, he's finally down," but the clone then popped into smoke. Nothing can penetrate the rotation, even stronger than Gaara's sand, Naruto heard 10-10. Some battling and strategic planning later, Neji finally used 8 trigrams 684 palms. Naruto got knocked away as his chakra points got disabled. Naruto then realized the karma mark on him was starting to spread more before it got near his neck. It was good the upper part of his jacket covered his neck. "I have struck all 64 of your chakra points. You're lucky to still be breathing," Neji mocked and went on a rant about destiny. Naruto could feel the sympathy some people had on him as he lay on the ground struggling. "Well, I guess it's that time," thought Naruto as he stood up, which surprised Neji. "This isn't possible. You shouldn't be able to stand." Naruto put his hand in a ram sign, making it look like he was about to use his chakra. "Stop trying to use your chakra, I've closed all of your chakra points." After some words being said, Neji showed his curse mark on his forehead. After more rambling about destiny and curse marks, Naruto forced Kurama's chakra through his body as he reopened each one of his chakra points as red chakra surrounded him. "I'm gonna win this, Neji, and I never go back on my word, you hear me? Believe it." Naruto dashed at Neji with his powered-up speed and used Uzumaki Barrage on him, except he did it by himself with 0 clones. He moved so fast thanks to the power-up that he didn't need them. Naruto then kicked Neji to the ground as he took a note from Jiraiya book and summoned a middle-sized toad on top of Neji. Gaara was already losing his control on Shikaku as he sent dozens of sand spikes everywhere, ripping out multiple trees to the ground, giving him more space to complete the transformation. Gaara with his mutated sand hand made a ram sign before sand started to cover around Gaara in a ball again. "Lightning Blade!" Naruto yelled as his lightning-covered hand struck through the sand and impaled Gaara through the shoulder. The ground started to shake as Gaara yelled about his blood once more. Soon enough, Shikaku appeared laughing about being free with an motionless Gaara hanging at the top of his head. "Kurama, how should I deal with Shikaku now that he's twice more powerful now?" "Just spam your chakra chains, I guess. Worked on me years ago, but I broke out," yawns. "I'll try that, I guess. Wait, did you just yawn?" Naruto didn't get any response from the nine-tailed demon fox. Naruto sighed as he watched a massive ball of wind come at him. Naruto raised his hand up as the fire sealing seal changed to a wind seal. Naruto had 50 chakra chains thrusted into the ground and around trees to keep his footing on the ground as the wind seal sealed the wind bullet. Shikaku looked half impressed and half shocked, but smiled mischievously. "That was impressive, Blondie, haha, but I bet you don't have the energy left to fight after sealing that wind bullet, hahaha." Shikaku kept laughing hysterically as his laughs destroyed the area around him. "You sure talk big for only seeing me do one thing. You don't know a thing about me. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and you better remember that name. Believe it." Naruto yelled as he lifted his palm up and unsealed the massive wind bullet. Shikaku just smirked as he inhaled the wind bullet. "What was all?" Naruto said with a shocked face. "Guess I should just use my chakra chains," Naruto muttered to himself as he tapped the ground with his foot. In less than 2 seconds, 250 chakra chains flew out of the ground and started wrapping around Shikaku's arms and legs, and then around Shikaku's neck, or is it stomach, Naruto can't tell. "Wait, so you really are an Uzumaki? I thought they had red hair." Shikaku yelled as Naruto summoned Gamabunta. "Shikaku? Naruto! Why'd you summon me against a tailed beast? Last time I fought one, it gave me a massive scar across my eye. I'm damn lucky the nine tails missed my eye." Gamabunta yelled at Naruto, who clearly understood. "Alright chief, all I need you to do now is restrain Shikaku, because the second I move my foot the chains will recede fast." "I'm ready." Naruto pushed chakra into his legs as he jumped over to Shikaku and landed on his chin. Naruto used his chakra chains to climb up Shikaku's face until he reached Gaara. Naruto pulled up his sleeve where his karma mark was and pushed chakra into it. The seal going up his arm glowed red. Naruto lifted Gaara's hair a bit to reveal his seal and slammed his hand onto it. Shikaku could feel himself being taken back inside the seal and started to panic. Gaara's body started to shake as Naruto forced chakra into the seal. Gaara's seal started to change as Naruto changed it. Soon enough the sand started to fall apart. Naruto caught Gaara's body as they fell. Naruto tried to use his chakra chains but couldn't for some reason. Naruto thought it was the karma seal messing with his chakra. Naruto's legs were then covered in Ninetales chakra as he crashed into the ground. Naruto's leg didn't take the full damage of the ground thanks to the chakra. Gaara quickly woke up and started asking multiple questions on why he helped and saved him. Naruto mentally cracked his knuckles and proceeded to use Talk no Jutsu. And from that day forward Naruto and Gaara were friends. Days passed since Naruto's fight with Gaara. Days passed since Hiruzen Sarutobi death. Days since Hiruzen's funeral. Days since Jiraiya taught the Rasengan to Naruto. But now, Sasuke was challenging him to a battle. On the rooftop of the hospital. Sasuke, just because I defeated Gaara and you didn't doesn't mean we have to fight. Naruto yelled at the red-eyed genin. Of course it matters. You became Chunin while I'm still a genin. There's no way you are stronger than me. Now fight me. Sasuke dashed at Naruto as he threw a fist at the blonde Chunin. Naruto blocked the fist and went for a sideways kick to his ribs. Sasuke with his 2 Tomo Sharingan saw it coming and blocked it. Sasuke shunshin behind Naruto and went for a sledgehammer attack by holding his hand together up and slamming it to Naruto. Naruto evaded it as Naruto jumped back. Sasuke, there's no point fighting. We're equals. Naruto tried to have Sasuke listen to him, but Sasuke wouldn't have any of it. Sasuke started to force chakra through his hand making a Chidori but also starting to release the curse mark. Sasuke's Chidori started to get black sparks forming around. Naruto held his out and carefully started forming his Rasengan. The blonde Chunin accidentally had a droplet of Kurama's chakra into the Rasengan, changing the color darker. Sasuke jumped forward to Naruto with his Chidori as Naruto did the same with his Rasengan. But luckily for Naruto, Kakashi arrived just in time to throw them away from each other. Jiraiya was there as well but didn't do anything since he knew Naruto would just cancel his Rasengan and use his chakra chains to hold Sasuke in place. Kakashi proceeded to scold both Naruto and Sasuke about the dangers of both jutsus. Naruto then left with Jiraiya quickly after. Naruto and Jiraiya stopped on top of the Hokage building. Naruto, we got a new mission for ourselves, Jiraiya told Naruto. The blonde Chunin asked what the mission was even though he knew. We have to find the next Hokage. The council wanted me to become Hokage but I'm too busy with my research and other things, so we decided to get the only other Sannin that isn't Orochimaru. And that is Tsunade Senju. Tsunade Senju. Isn't she like the last of the Senju or something like that? Not just the last Senju but also the most beautiful woman on the planet. Trust me. Now let's go. Naruto followed Jiraiya as they left the village. It had been hours since they left the village and Jiraiya had started talking about toads and stuff. They found Tsunade. Drunk. Shizune is the same from the last time he remembered her. Taunton. Naruto had more memories with Taunton than Tenten, damn. Tsunade drugged Jiraiya when they went drinking and the next day Naruto and Shizune had to help Jiraiya with finding Tsunade. Of course, Tsunade was fighting Orochimaru and Kabuto. Tsunade summoned her Katsuya the slug in her massive form. Jiraiya tried to summon Gamabunta but it didn't work, so Naruto did for him and Orochimaru summoned his snake. Naruto stood in front in Kabuto in a stare-off. So Naruto, you became Chunin? Well, not officially but still counts, good job. Though it's so disappointing a village like Konoha would promote such a ninja like yourself. Naruto, doesn't matter, I'll make you drop to the ground in less than 5 seconds. Kabuto disappeared out of sight and Naruto instinctually had collected some nature chakra. Naruto turned around and caught Kabuto's fist that was engulfed in blue chakra. Kabuto had shock all over him as he witnessed Naruto stop his attack, but the most surprising thing was that he had entered Sage Mode. Toad, Sage Mode. Naruto activated his Sharingan on one eye and made Kabuto forget what just happened and knocked him out. Naruto's bled a tiny bit for some reason Naruto did not know. Naruto. Yeah, Kurama. I know the reason why your eye bled and what will happen if you keep using your Sharingan and Rinnegan. Well, tell me. Author's note: in my first Naruto story I was eventually gonna have Naruto fight All for One and have him do something that affects Naruto's abilities, but I never got to that part. It's also the reason why O had a nanotech arm shown in like chapter 6. I was gonna Tony Stark be there temporarily as a cameo or something like that. So All for One sliced off Naruto's arm, having it replaced with a nanotech arm powered by a miniature arc reactor, but I never got there, so, yeah. If you remember that fight from a really long ago against that guy called All for One, yeah, that guy. Remember when he gripped your head one time while we were fighting him and his fingertips glowed orange? Yeah, I remember. It was All Might's biggest enemy or something like that. Well, he used some sort of power to change how many uses you have left with your Sharingan and Rinnegan. Currently you have 3 uses left with the Sharingan and 1 use left with the Rinnegan, so be careful on what you do and use it wisely. Well, I'm going to sleep. Naruto just stood silently going through his thoughts as a knocked out Kabuto was laying on the ground at his feet. I have 4 uses in total, and there's so many disaster coming ahead. I really do have to be wise with these last uses. God damn it, there has to be something good to come in the future, thought Naruto, whose wish would be granted when he returned from his training trip with Jiraiya, but disaster would follow ahead for the blonde and his future partner. Orochimaru appeared in front of Naruto and grabbed Kabuto before disappearing. Jiraiya put a hand on Naruto's shoulder, being him back to reality. Come on, kid, time to bring the 5th Hokage to the village. Naruto nodded as Tsunade and Shizune follows behind back to their trip to Konoha. Author's note: I literally forgot about Itachi and Kisame. Just pretend Naruto encountered them earlier, okay? Nice. Then, Sasuke had run off with the sound for, ugh. Naruto was so tired, everything was happening so fast. Time skip. Naruto and Sasuke stared off each other as they stood on the heads of Madara and Hashirama at the Valley of the End. Sasuke, you don't have to do this. Come back to Konoha. I won't let the snake Orochimaru steal your body just for power. Everyone back at the village will go crazy when their loyal last Uchiha went rogue for the dirty snake Orochimaru. Naruto yelled at Sasuke, who didn't show any emotion and didn't care at all. I need power, and Konoha won't give it to me. I need power to kill Itachi. Orochimaru will give me the power and then I'll finally have gotten revenge for my clan. Leave now or I'll kill you, Naruto. Sasuke responded with his Sharingan activated. 2 tomos on each eye still. Release the Genjutsu and the Henge. Sasuke, if we're gonna fight we might as well do it for real. Naruto took out his kunai as he got ready. Sasuke smirked as he released the Genjutsu, revealing his real form, Satsuki Uchiha. You know, Naruto, I'm glad we'll fight like this. That Henge really drained my chakra unfairly most of the time. She spoke. She had a different attire as well. No longer was she wearing the blue shirt with the Uchiha clan on the back, but, well, you can see for yourself. Ignore the clouds on the outfit, it has nothing to do with the Akatsuki, Satsuki said as Naruto nodded slightly. She gripped her katana and shunshin in front of Naruto, trying to stab him, but Naruto evaded it by jumping up. Satsuki reacted quickly by releasing a fireball jutsu at Naruto, who couldn't move in the air but tried to block the attack. Chakra chains flew out of the fireball fire trying to grab Satsuki. Satsuki channeled some lightning chakra onto her blade and sliced the chains to pieces. Naruto couldn't use his chains on her as she would just chop them off. Naruto went through multiple hand signs and shouted, "Wind release, Gale Palm." Naruto shot out a massive amount of wind, pushing Satsuki down the statue into the water, but she quickly came out with another fireball jutsu. Naruto jumped down fast with chakra in his legs and punched her in the face. Satsuki got back up and kicked Naruto's knee, knocking him down onto one knee before kicking him in the ribs before jumping off his face and releasing a fireball. Satsuki caught Naruto's fist before charging a Chidori and aiming to stab his heart, but Naruto was able to move her arm with a chakra chain, but it ended up making a massive hole through his shoulder which made Naruto stop moving. Satsuki thought Naruto froze because of shock that she dropped him on the water before placing her foot on the injury and stepping onto it. Ag! Naruto roared in pain as he tried to get her foot off of him but couldn't, as Satsuki quickly pulled out her katana before stabbing him in the stomach. Naruto coughed up blood, but the blood continued coming out of his mouth. Naruto was in complete shock. He didn't know doing some minor changes to the timeline would make Satsuki do this. Man, this really hurts. It's gonna leave scars, but I don't if she'll keep me alive. Naruto looked at Satsuki in the eyes slowly, but Satsuki's face was emotionless. You know, Naruto, I used to have feelings for you, I had feelings of love for you, but after everything that's happened so far, time slowed down for Naruto as he heard those dreadful words he never wanted to hear from, especially her. Hate you. Naruto's heart felt like it was being stabbed through repeatedly. Slowly Naruto's vision started to get blurry as he no longer saw the woman he had loved before Isshiki had sent him back in time. Naruto's face was emotionless, his bright blue eyes looked like they had darkened. With extreme sadness, Naruto then started to feel like something heavy was on his chest and shoulders all of a sudden, but there was nothing there. Slowly Naruto's sadness was being morphed into rage. Suddenly the water started to bubble with steam coming out. The area started to feel a whole lot hotter. Satsuki rubbed her forehead as she noticed she started sweating. Satsuki didn't notice, but red bubbly chakra started to form around Naruto's legs as it pushed him upwards. Satsuki looked back, but was then punched by Naruto's Kyuubi enhanced fist, launching her far away. Naruto was then engulfed in a red chakra aura which disappeared slowly. Naruto's eyes had changed to mimic the Kyuubi with thicker whisker marks. Naruto sped up to Sasuke and started an avalanche of physical attacks. Satsuki was basically being thrown around like a rag doll in hot water because of Naruto and his red chakra. Naruto was attacking so fast and carelessly that the wounds she had caused opened a bit more, with it causing Naruto to freeze in the middle of an attack, which gave Satsuki an opening to counterattack. Satsuki pulled out a kunai before slashing it at Naruto's arm, which got him out of his freeze, but was then kicked in the chest again. The Uchiha then noticed something about Naruto's movements. Naruto went for another enhanced punch, but Satsuki saw it before Naruto even did it. Satsuki evaded the attack and kicked Naruto in the chin, launching him backwards. She had unlocked the third Tomo on her Sharingan. Naruto kept trying to land a hit, but Satsuki would just block it or counter it back and landing an attack on him. Naruto tried to speed up his attacks, but they were either being countered or he'd mess up the attack. Naruto's anger had forced him to put even more of the Kyuubi chakra, but this time in his legs. Naruto started to speed up with his attacks and Satsuki could barely counter them because her body's movements weren't as fast as her Sharingan. Naruto noticed this and had tried to speed up even more. Finally Naruto started to land hits on Satsuki again, but then she had the curse marks spreading across her body and had entered stage 1 of the heaven curse mark. Satsuki then decided to beat the hell out of Naruto after what he had done with whatever power he's wielding. Naruto kept being hit in the face until he felt one of his chakra points close out and his arm hang loose. Naruto then noticed Sasuke was using the gentle fist taijutsu style. How? Naruto coughed out, which Satsuki responded with, "It's a great fighting style, of course I'd have to copy it. Too bad I can't use it to its full potential without the Byakugan, but then again I can also attack your pressure points, which would temporarily disable your movements if I hit the right spot." Naruto jumped back. Naruto was breathing hard and it looked like he was gonna collapse any second. Naruto really should have thought before he decided to attack faster with his wounds not fully healed. The blonde's movements were extra slow now. He had been pushing chakra through his muscles just to keep fighting, but now it was a big mistake. I can't waste any more time with you. I'll just finish you off here and now. Satsuki then let the heaven curse mark spread even more as she entered stage 2. She charged an Chidori which was fully black with white lightning. Naruto, with the anger still going through him, started releasing huge amounts of Kyuubi chakra. Naruto dashed at Satsuki with the same speed and had formed a Rasengan that he aimed to destroy her Chidori. Satsuki dashed at Naruto as they both jumped up high right next to the waterfall before they hit each other's jutsus, causing a massive explosion. Satsuki had quickly left after as she, barely, could sense Kakashi closing in. Soon after, Kakashi arrived and only found Naruto on the ground with a scratched-out headband. "Sasuke, what have you done?" Kakashi whispered as he quickly retreated back to the village with Pakken by his side. "Naruto, are you ready to go? We got exactly 3 years for me to train you to your strongest, and 3 years before the Akatsuki try something again, so let's go," Jiraiya told Naruto as he started walking to the village gates. Naruto looked back at the and smiled. Once he's back, he'll be stronger than ever. He's ready for anything now. Once Isshiki decides to show up, he'll be strong enough to beat him. He'll master the karma mark and use it for good. He won't let Isshiki do an Orochimaru on him. Naruto quickly ran to catch up to Jiraiya as they left for the training trip. As Naruto ran up to catch up with Jiraiya, he ran past someone with red hair, and it wasn't Gaara. Naruto didn't know who it was, but shook his head and caught up with Jiraiya. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this what if and want to see next part of it, comment down below and let me know. Also share this video with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.